students, I am going to explain very important chapter, that is transportation in animals and plants. The chapter is called basically transportation of material. So, what do you mean by transportation? Transportation means moving a substance from one place to other. You know, we have the modes of transport. You know, aeroplane, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, you know, railway, etc. So these are all for the transporting goods for the passengers, etc. Similarly, in the animals and plants also, transportation plays very important role, because you know, animals and plants, they cannot live without food. They cannot live without excreting the waste outside. Excreting means bahar nikalna. So the waste materials like urine, fecal matter, which is formed in the body of animals, and in plants also, there is the formation of some waste materials by different biological processes has to be removed, because these wastes are toxic for the living beings, and they have to be removed by a proper mechanism, proper method. Now, these processes takes place by very two simple points. And first point is diffusion, and second point is circulatory system. So diffusion is a process. It is a physical process in which a substance from higher concentration moves to lower concentration. Like we burn incense sticks in our homes, in temples, and at other places, or we spray perfume. What happens? The place where we burn incense sticks, or we burn any mosquito coil, what happens? Throughout the area, there is the spread of the fumes, or the perfumes smell, or agarbattis smell. Why? It is because of diffusion. Suppose there is incense stick here, so if we ignite, then it gives the fumes, and the fumes they occupy throughout the area. Why? Because the concentration or the amount of perfume is maximum at this place, and it is no at other places, so it will spread automatically. So diffusion is automatic movement, automatic passing of, or automatic spreading of a substance from its higher concentration to lower concentration without the involvement of gravity. You know gravity? Gravity is a force due to which earth attracts any body towards itself. Like say this chalk, I am living, it falls on my hand. This is due to gravity. So the process of diffusion is not affected by gravity. Like if we burn incense stick in the ground floor, and someone living in the first floor or second floor, automatically the person is able to know that someone has lighted the match, this incense stick. So this is the diffusion. Similarly, it can happen from top to bottom also. So the point is that diffusion is not affected by gravitation. Now second is circulatory system. You know circulatory system, there is the blood vessels in the animals. Blood vessels, you know, veins and the arteries, they carry the blood from one place to other place. You will see in detail in later on. Similarly, in plants also, there are the different elements, different channels just like arterial veins, and they are called xylem and phloem. You know, xylem is responsible for the transportation of water. Xylem is responsible for the transportation of water from roots to other parts of body, whereas phloem is responsible for carrying the food materials. See, in plants, as you know, there are two elements for the transportation of different materials, and first is xylem. Xylem, xylem. So xylem is responsible for the transportation of water and water soluble substances like minerals, nutrients which are required for the photosynthesis. So xylem transports water and water soluble substances from roots to the leaves for the photosynthesis, because photosynthesis results into the formation of food by the leaves. This is one point. So this is about the xylem. Now other point about xylem is that xylem cells are thick walled. Xylem cells are thick walled and they are dead. These are two important points. Xylem cells are thick walled. इनकी जो walls होती हैं thick होती हैं और dead होते हैं. They are dead. ये मरे होते हैं. Now coming to phloem. So phloem cells, they are responsible for the food transportation. The transportation of food. So food is formed, in the leaves by the photosynthesis, and the food is manufactured by the food factories called leaves, and the food is, transported from leaves to throughout the plant, each and every part. Each and every part, even the roots they also require food. So throughout the plant body, see, plants appear very simple, but the plant's mechanism means working is very complex, very difficult, and as a result the food is transported from leaves to all the parts, even the smallest bud, root, flower, fruit, everywhere food, because without food plants cannot work. So this is the phloem. Now xylem and phloem, they are present together. Xylem and phloem, they are present together everywhere, in stems as well as root, throughout. Just there is a networking. There are the cables. Cities, villages, there are the cables for the transmission of signals by the cable operator. So similarly, in our body, animals also, we have arterial veins. So there is the network of the xylem and phloem throughout the plant body. Each and every part is connected by xylem and phloem. So this is one point. Second point is just opposite to xylem. Xylem has thick walled, dead. Similarly, phloem is thin walled. Xylem has thick walls, phloem has thin walls. Walls are thin and they are living. Now, xylem and phloem, they are not so simple. They are also made up of different units. Xylem and phloem, they are also made up of different units. Very important part. All of you must be wondering or surprised how the plants have the ability to allow the flow of water and the food from one place to another. In plant body, there is no any machine like for the pumping of blood in our body. Animals, we have heart. Heart sends blood, collects blood, But in plants, what is there? So actually, plants don't have heart. But in plants there is certain mechanism. In plants there is certain mechanism. So some mechanism is there due to which the water and the food, water is transported from roots to leaves and food is transported from leaves to other parts. So it has a particular mechanism, and this mechanism is guided by some very important processes. And important processes, first process is osmosis. First process is osmosis. So osmosis is defined as the process of passing of a substance from its higher concentration to lower concentration when the two solutions are separated by semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane. I'm writing it is the process of passing of a substance from its higher concentration to its lower concentration when two solutions are separated by a semi permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane. This is very important part. Semi-permeable, semi means half. Permeable means passing of a substance into other. So condition is that the two solutions, one of higher concentration, other of lower concentration, are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane is also called as, in brief, SPM. You can do simple experiment on your home. Very simple experiment you can do at your home. Here there is one beaker. This is first. This is second. In this beaker I have taken water. Second beaker I have taken sugar solution. So in water beaker or glass beaker I have put resin. Resin क्या होता है? किशमिश. तो यदि इसमें किशमिश को हम डाल देंगे, so after half an hour or an hour, you see this kismis will swell up. Why? Because inside the kismis the concentration of sugar is very high, and so water from outside comes inside, and so there will be the swelling. So the resin will be swollen. Why? Because water from outside comes inside, and the covering, जो छिलका है किसका? किशमिश का, it act as semi-permeable membrane. The covering of the resin act as semi-permeable membrane. It allows only the flow of water from outside to inside. लेकिन इसमें जो मिठास है वो इसके बाहर नहीं जाएगी without boiling. Now on the other hand, see the reverse case. Here in other glass I have written sugar syrup. सुगर सिरप, चाशनी, शुगर की, चीनी की चाशनी ले सकते हैं, और इसमें ग्रेप डाल देंगे. ग्रेप. So grape will shrink. After an hour the grape will shrink. Shrinking. Grape will shrink. You will do Or you can do, or you must be knowing, in the kheer, what happens when your family members add raisins or kismis? No, what happens? Kismis swell ho jate hain. They are just like grapes. So it is an example of osmosis. So osmosis is of two types: X osmosis and end osmosis. X. So this is X osmosis. This is X osmosis. It comes inside. This is end osmosis. This is end osmosis. And so you can do there are several experiments. So osmosis creates a force. Osmosis creates a force inside the plants, and this helps in the rise of water from lower to up. And similarly, the food, the place where leaves food is made, so the concentration of food is maximum in leaves, and other parts of the plants the concentration of food is less, so food flows from leaves to the plant. So this is one point, that is osmosis. Transportation in plants. Second point is transpiration. Transpiration is very important point in the plants. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water vapors. It is loss of water vapors from leaves and other living parts of a plant. So leaves have very microscopic holes, and they're called as stomata. Leaves have stomata, and so stomata have pores called as stomatal opening, and so through the stomatal opening, water vapors comes out. Why? Because plants want to maintain a cool environment around themselves. We have air conditioner, we have fan, we have air cooler, but these other plants, how they will able to lower temperature around themselves? So this is their automatic process of transpiration. So they lose water vapors from the stomata, and around them there is evaporation of the water, and as a result plants are able to lower down the temperature around themselves. And so they do it for themselves, but we all are benefited. And it's very unfortunate we cut down the trees, jungles, forests without thinking. So this is transpiration. So due to transpiration and osmosis, there is a force. Due to transpiration osmosis, there is a force inside the plant which enables us to rise the water from the roots to the upper part, and thus the transport of water and minerals takes place in the xylem. This is one part of the mechanism, that is osmosis and transpiration.